So we've just completed the final competition of the Life Skill Entrepreneur Mindset Skills program. Okay, it was a journey of 3 months. And being the judge, what was your feedback? What did you feel after the competition?
See, the most important thing which struck me was the kind of ideas children came up with. They were diverse. Looking at the scope of waste management, electricity generation, helping the blind people, look at the variety of thought which has gone into their thinking. That is something which I found very spontaneous and very important, which has been always on.
Okay.
And then what I liked about the students is a commitment to the process. They were passionate about what they wanted, especially the entrepreneur who suggested making fabric out of hires. So I particularly commend that. So these were the things which actually struck me as a person. What you can learn as an adult from the upcoming generation. It's very good.
Absolutely. The children are so creative.
Yes, they're so creative. Their perspective is so broad, and some of the ideas they come out with are absolutely out of the box.
It's mind-boggling. Some of them, in fact, some of them even came up with ideas about how to improve certain school systems.
Yes.
And very interesting ideas also for that matter. One of the biggest challenges we are facing is changing the mindset of the parents, because here the entire focus is on professional careers, and they just don't welcome and encourage any of these kind of programs which would actually build the core person, build the confidence. And so what is your feedback? What do you think we need to do to come out of this kind of narrow-minded mindset?
I think you need to bombard parents with more information, saying that entrepreneurship per se is not something bad. A kid who wants to be an entrepreneur is not a failure. That concept of Malayali parents has to go. The best example is there are so many successful entrepreneurs. You just step across to Bangalore, most of them are Malayalis. Now, if that transition can happen in a state which is just next door to us, why cannot it happen here, especially in the educative sector? The perception that only engineering and medicine are good careers has to go. You need to educate, you need to talk to parents and change their mindset. I think there is a transformation happening, having said that, because the new set of parents which are coming up right now, who are in their 30s and 40s, their attitude will be probably different. So you have a footpath to start with. Now it is on how you're going to build on that and drive home the message. That will probably be the role which foundations like yours can play. And I'm happy that Chamunu Foundation is already doing this project of entrepreneurship development. If you can scale it up to include parents also, somehow if you can devise a program which would get parents attracted to it, so that they understand that this is not a bad thing after all. My child can be a success here too. Then your job is more than
That's definitely a brand new idea. I haven't heard that anywhere. But yes, what you said is correct. To create that mindset change, they need to be involved. In fact, I insisted that all the parents here come at least for participate. We just had if you notice, we just had about 10 parents.
Yes.
Also, but we had 50 children who participated. But still, we have only 10, came. So, how this is a challenge.
That is a challenge
we are facing, and I'm not sure the parents are fully, they don't have full buy-in into it.
See, actually,
do you believe these skill sets will help children in whatever ways?
They would, because you don't know ultimately how are these children going to end up in their lives. Some of them would very well go into civil service. Some of them would go into scientists. Some of them will go into doctors. Another one would go into management. So what kind of skill sets are they carrying forward from here? Ultimately, they need to manage situations. They need to manage people. There is no escape from that, wherever and whichever professions they choose to be in. So these are the skill sets you're developing. And then the most important thing, communicate straightforward.
Yes.
Without fear. You're not talking about the accent, you're not talking about the grammatical usage, just plain communication. If you can instill that confidence in a child, he or she is 75% there. The rest is pure academics and the rest is their own conviction and drive.
You're absolutely right. My experience also is once you work on the core self-confidence, it's like a puzzle, the pieces just fit in automatically. The effort actually that is from the facilitators is actually very good. This is my experience over so many years. So I'm so happy you validated
Right, you're welcome.
Validated that. And so you would recommend such a program to schools and colleges?
And I would recommend that you scale it up to people from 10th, 11th and 12th grades, depending on their availability. And I would also suggest that you run this bigger scale in colleges. Not only in preschools, but other colleges also. Because Kerala needs a lot of fresh blood.
The only reason we never went to 10th and 12th is parents are absolutely negative involved in anything other than the focused academics because of the board exams. Yeah, so that is what we're facing.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you very much. Really appreciate your
Thank you very
thoughts.
much, Anisha. Much appreciated. Wish you good luck.
So what did you feel after we had this life skill entrepreneurial mindset skill set program? We call it LEMS. We just completed their, the final competition of the team presentations. What is your feedback? What did you feel after watching as a judge for this competition?
The students' quality seemed to be pretty good. I mean, they were able to present the ideas pretty well, and that's itself surprising because they're only in standard 9. And to be able to do that, they were aware about things, and they were able to confidently take up the subject and explain that and articulate it well. That's surprising for me because in 9th standard, I wouldn't have expected that. So that itself is good, and the idea has been seeded. They really think they can make a difference, and the best thing is I saw a couple of sparks in some few of them. And I'm happy that that we are actually creating a culture which gives attention and gives importance to the passion and sparks on these kids, and I hope they can actually take that along in their career.
Actually, our number one motive is not just about, making a 80 percentile child into a 90 percentile. Our number one motive is actually to bring up from a 40-50 percentile child to a 70 percentile. So that
Okay.
is what our focus area is. That is why all the teams we have, a mix of, it could be good communicators, because we believe every child is unique and they have their own skill sets, and we put them, together as a team. They motivate and support each other. So what do you feel? Do you feel these kind of skill sets is really important in their future life?
I think not just the communication part, but the fact that they're competing and they're standing up to real life. I mean, that part of itself is fabulous. Now, I mean, we can't really judge if 75% or 45% because he's got completely different sets of skill sets there, right? And the fact that they're able to talk about it, they're able to sit in a team, it's nice that we are talking about this earlier also, saying that it's not just the best person getting all the opportunities and becoming better and better. There's a lot of people who are getting opportunity to be part of the team, and getting him to have more self-confidence, to be aware that this is how it is happening across. That itself is good. I mean, so having a lot of students participating and getting their not only communication, the business acumen, to know that there's something called a market and a product and a service which can be given to make profit out of it, it makes sense. And to know it at this age, excellent.
Yes, because one thing we have noticed in many of the schools is the very smart children are the ones who always get all the opportunities for all the competitions, because
Yes.
for some reason the school wants to also get that acknowledgement to win competitions. So that is another reason why we ensured that here every single child gets the is a part of a team and has to present, has to involve themselves at every level. So that is something which we have taken on. And you feel that these kind of skill sets will help in professional careers,
Yeah,
also, not just entrepreneurial but also professional careers?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I mean, I don't think entrepreneurial and professional careers are too different. Are almost similar. The only thing is entrepreneurial takes a little more risk.
Okay.
The professional career doesn't have that kind of risk associated with it. So the fact that you work on a professionalism in which you're very seriously taking up a subject and looking at all the factors about it, analyzing it, and then presenting it, that itself actually puts in a professionalism on a person, right? To be able to work together, to be able to deliver on time, to be able to put a good show, to be able to articulate that correctly, to be able to make a good presentation, to do the product line inside that. That's all what we learn in the professional world, right?
Okay.
So that, of course, I mean, that itself shows, I mean, when people come from colleges, when we are on the professional side, we actually try to make them unlearn a lot of negatives that they come up with, because they don't come up on office on right time. They're not actually cutting edge. They don't really believe the output is the most important part of it. So these kind of skills is where we get to know that, output is very important and you need to actually put a great show. It's just not about knowledge, but also about presenting it well. Definitely it's going to help out. So that's the way I see it.
Okay. So you will recommend such a program to schools
Absolutely.
and
I
colleges?
would definitely recommend program to schools and colleges. I would recommend for not only for 9th standard, a little bit senior level also. I definitely recommend the programs in that space.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
So what did you think about our life skill entrepreneurial mindset skill set program? This is the final competition. of all the teams. So what was your feedback after you saw the team's participation?
Okay, this is the first time that I'm looking into an event like this to be happening in the school, and I would prefer that this should be extended to 9th. Now it is happening for 9th. It should be extended to 10th and 11th also, because we have an elective coming up in 11th for this. And people, the students have really groomed well, and they have done a lot of research also on all these activities, especially on the LEMS program. So I think this has to be developed in every schools.
What do you believe, how do these skill sets, you think it will help them in their future life? How do you think it will help them?
See, I am from a financial background, and I meet up a lot of people who are out on the streets. So what typically happens is that when we are meeting up somebody, literally people will not have kind of confidence there. And I see then people have those kind of confidence coming up on these kids. I mean, they are performing better than those guys. So that way it's really good.
Okay, so you believe that these skill sets will help
Definitely
children
yes,
for
yes.
whether it's a profession or whether they get into entrepreneurial activities, it
Yes,
is going
yes,
to help them in their life.
Because this is a time when they can face rejections. I preferably think that they should take up a small career, at least for 1 year or 2 year career in a sales job, because
Yes.
then only they'll face rejections.
Yes.
Salespeople are the most having a lot of rejections everywhere. And Mumbai and all that, you can see that name boards are there, and pets and salesmen is not allowed. So similarly,
Okay.
they can digest that, not an issue.
Okay. So you will recommend this program
Definitely.
to school children to
No, especially from 9th,
9th
10th,
onwards.
yeah, 9th onwards, 9th to 11th.
9th to 11th is what you think will have the greatest impact, because they're in that age where they are growing up and
And to add on to that, you should also do something for the parents, because once people have moved to 8th standard, they will all focus on career, and the career is only into these kind of things.
Yes.
So nobody wants to take up this.
Yes, that is the biggest challenge we are facing. That is trying to convince parents, or trying to change their mindset. What we have seen is that is one of the biggest
The
challenges.
only option is that to go around and educate people, especially parents. That is the only option.
Right. Anyway, thank you very much for your feedback. I really, really appreciate it.
No worries.
Hi Sonia, being the principal of St. Peter's School here in Kolanjeri, we just completed the life skill entrepreneurial mindset skill set. Their final competition was today. So what did you feel after the competition? What is the feedback that you'd like to give after the competition?
Yeah, well, I would say that I would rate this program, that is LEMS program, what was being conducted by Chemanur Academy in our school, as a 100% success, because I could really feel the difference in the students. That is, today was the final day of competition. I could really feel the vibe in the students, how differently that they have changed from what they were before, and today where they stand. They have developed a lot of confidence. I should say that the life skills what we should inculcate in the students, that is being really developed at the end of this program. If I take the name and say, I could even see when I was watching the semi-finals or the finals of the competition, I could see a child who was not very much inhibited even to come up and speak a word to the teachers. He was presenting it very well. He was able to do it very well to the finals. This shows that it was a grand success. They have really developed the skills what they should, and I would say that this was a 100% success in our school.
Okay, so you will actually recommend such a program for schools and colleges. You believe these kind of skill sets is very important for children to develop for their future profession and maybe entrepreneurial activities also.
Yeah, in a school scenario, if we take how much ever we try, there is a limitation towards our part what we can give the students, that is the space what we can give them to develop such skills. See, we will be more concentrating more on the academics, and the time constraint is what stops us from giving such exposure to the students. But when we think in a wider aspects, if we are into such programs, it definitely will help the students to be, as I told, to be street smart than book smart. So this is what I would like to project, that I would 100% recommend this particular program to various schools and colleges. This would be a good exposure which we are able to give the management, and the parents can support each other and cooperate to each other. This would be something great that we can do to the young generation.
Okay, what is the message you'd like to give parents? Because the biggest challenge we are facing is that we're not able to convince the parents the importance of such programs to build certain skill sets which will, help children, whether it's a profession or, whether they're in business. So what is the message you'd like to give parents?
If we want to take it up to the parents, if we see that nowadays what happens is parents are really not that into all these things, in the sense, even if we have a sports day, if we get for a concern for their mass drill or march fast practice, etc., what we see is parents are not willing to send the children to do all these things. They block them in each and everything, and they want to protect them. Might be the world outside is like that, they are not feeling like that is a safe place to send them to different things or expose them to the different things. But I would say that if the parents are welcoming this, they should understand that this is going to create a great difference in their children if children are exposed to such programs and such talks and such programs, etc. So the parents should be very much willing to take up such programs, should be accepting such things and move forward. So this is how we can bring the children out, and we will be able to make them face the competition what they are going to face after their 12th grade, after their graduation, etc.
Okay. See, one aspect which I have noticed in majority of schools, and that is why we tweak the model, is that most of the schools, what happens is, because they go for inter-school competitions, they pick up the best teams, the best presentators, best communicators always picked up, and it's the same team of people who will keep getting opportunities one after the other, because the schools also want to get that acknowledgement of winning the competition. And that I felt was more detrimental, because all the children don't get opportunities. So one thing which we try to do here is, every child is unique. Every child has a skill set, need not be a communication skill set, but it could be another skill set. So, the team is always a mix of multiple skill sets, and that is what we focused on, where we wanted a 40 percentile child to come up into at least a 70 percentile, and our focus is not on to make a 70% percentile into a 90 percentile. So that is our focus area. Do you feel that we have achieved, at least to some extent, that aspect of bringing up average children? Do you feel that we have been able to bring up self-confidence in the children?
Definitely, that's what I initially told that. See, I could see a child who was really behind, who was a backbencher. He has really come forward and he was able to present it very well. So that itself is a testimony that you were able to achieve this particular target, what you told me, as from a 40 percentile to a 70 percentile. Definitely, this program was a success on that basis.
We don't know the children's background, which you would know better, because we've spent only that 40 hours or with them. So you would know, you've seen them for many years, so that background you're already aware. So I think that is fine. So thank you very much, Sonia. Really appreciate all the support that you've given us for this program. And I also like to acknowledge the management, for not even questioning it one bit, and they saw the larger picture, and they went ahead and said, let's go ahead and do it in the school, let the children benefit. So thank you very much.
Thank you.